AESN. Azeroth Entertainment and Sports Network brings you all the latest sports news our affiliates have to offer.
Welcome to AESN for the month of June. Helping out this month with all the introductions, it's me, Benicon. I'm new to the crew, but I'm already having a blast. In this episode, we cover all the sports of last month, including the captivating conclusion of the Crashcog Cup, carp kicking on the coast with Major League Carpball, the brutal beatdowns of Azerothian Boxing Association, and more. Listen up. First, we have Blusterville v. Fizzleflame covering the Crashcog Cup for us. Take it away, Blusty.
Greetings, salutations, felicitations, and gesticulations. I am Blusterville Vladius Fizzleflame, and I am here with AESN to bring you our most recent coverage of the past racing events. Our biggest story is that of the Crashcog Cup, which just had its Grand Prix on June 12th. On the very streets of Dalaran, Dastan Braddock took the race by storm and came in first. However, it was none other than the Nell Fizzleburst who won the cup overall with the highest season ranking. The events concluded with the award ceremony, where racers and attendees alike earned fantastic rewards. The rewards in question were given to Ithelian, who won the Ring of Ragnaros trophy, Stindy, who won the Sargerai Circuit trophy, and the previously mentioned Dastan, who won both the Boomcog Award as well as the Streets of Dalaran, ending the main awards with the Crashcog Cup winner and Grizzly Gauntlet winner, Ninel. The Cozy Corner Bookstore and Azerothian Boxing Association were given the Patronage Award. The Mercantile Award was given to Dimtrios and Sayerd, the Cast Company, and ending with Cyan Knox. The Goldwant Award for Exceptional Vehicle Design was given to Wilney Silverstride and Intamin Diveroll for their truly wonderful rides, all ending with the Wholesome Award, given to Norian Terravolt for always being a shiny beacon, representing the whole of the Crashcog Cup with their joyful and upbeat attitude.
Next up, let's listen in as Zale Marfox tells us all about Major League Carpball.
Last month, Carpball players and fans got to thrill over the sun and sand on the Wild Shore and Stranglethorn. Our fish-kicking friends brought the heat with a solid showing of fans and players alike lined up swinging for the goal. Two teams of note tussled that night, Team Tian and Team Fish, with the former scoring solidly over their opponents. With a growing resurgence of public interest, a fair group of volunteers made their debut with the intent of forming teams of their own down the road. And speaking of down the road, be on the lookout for this year's TOA for more MLC action.
And now for a word on behalf of one of our sponsors, Mesmore's Metalworks. If you're looking for your newest weapon, shiny new helmet, armor, or even a few engineering gadgets, look no further. Chelsea Mesmore and her crew at the Metalworks have pre-made options available, but if you're looking for something custom, Chelsea's your gal. For the right coin, she can craft you up your very own item to your exact specifications. Contact Chelsea Mesmore in Duskwood for more information. And now, the Azerothian Boxing Association and Azeroth Championship Wrestling.
In a longer than usual bout, two veterans of the sport took to the ring on the 6th. Their pairing was a decision of fate. His long-standing frenemies, Rosie Buford, Stormwind's Abs of Steel, donned gloves against Alex Lyle, the Bulwark herself. Two immovable opponents, Rosie opened the night with consistent sustained blows against Alex's body and spirit, with Smack Talk coming in with every bit of smack down right through the first third of the first round. Having had enough of being put in the corner, Alex retaliated with swift and shocking blows, sending Rosie down to the mat with her first strike, then proceeded to trade blows with Buford until ending up on the mat herself. Barely able to make it up, the bout continued to the end of the round where both wolfish women stared each other down as they recovered their wits. The second round saw much of the same, having both pugilists gather themselves enough to knock each other's senses free. Back and forth, they both stayed on their feet, keeping equal ground until the second round's midway point, where things started going south for Rosie. The sturdy redhead started losing steam, having her strength whittled away, her steely abs dented and busted before finally hitting the deck in the last moments of the match. Unable to stand for her count of 10, the bout ended with 1 second on the clock by knockout. Alex declared the winner. With a history between these two, the provocative heat slung during this match set a high standard for the months following fights. Next this month, a long-hyped fight between two intense personalities culminated in a shocking display of power and speed on the 13th. Entering the first round, Benny's intense strength and prowess gave him a promising lead in a one-sided beatdown, quickly sending Andrasten down with a 1-2 follow-through. Even as she makes it to her feet, Benny doesn't let up, but it's here that he starts losing his grip. As Benny starts making mistakes, Andrasten fights hard to get a foothold in the fight, spending a good half of the first round making up for lost time before a back and forth takes him to the bell, ending the round with both of them a little worse for wear. Benny brought the team, however, bolstering his spirits. While half the crowd cheered, the other half jeered, splitting the audience right down the middle. As the second round rings in, the fighters dance their way to center stage, only to have Andrasten met with a heavy blow that sends her right back off her feet. Just like her first fumble, she stands only to be met again by Benny's fist. fists. Calling the fight at a third through the second round, the refs put her out of the bout by TKO, giving Benny the win and sending him up the brackets. And for something totally different, the 20th brought two worlds together in a controversial collision of styles. ABA's Katraya Phoenixhearth, a stalwart shield maiden, voluntarily signed up for an exhibition match against the ACW's Gaman, a mountain-sized Draenei and talented wrestler. Right as the bell sounds out, Kat darts in with all the speed and grace the ABA is known for. Going right for his cornerstone, she topples the towering man with a single blow. Though Gaman stands quickly, undeterred, Kat's reflexes and training get her in one more shot for score before Gaman shows the crowd what he's made of, putting his opponent in a devious grip. Kat almost doesn't make her way out before the count ends the night early, but the lithe boxer wiggles herself free. Open strikes follow Kat's quick footwork as she's subject to stylized blows for the sake of the crowd, only to have two rock-hard and dangerous hooves land into her chest in what can only be described as an upsetting blow. The Boxing Association allowed the drop kick for the sake of the lax rules. However, this caused an undeniable controversy between both the fans and the staff. Not taking the blow lightly, Kat grins and bears it, steeling herself as she wallops Gaman hard enough to send him off balance into the mat long enough in a daze that the ref finishes the count with time to spare. This fight ends with a rowdy crowd, fired up fighters, and a rivalry between two entire organizations. Katraya takes the gold prize by KO in the pride of knowing she's stronger, faster, and more durable than the wrestling machine Gaman. Look forward to more crossover events between these two groups in the future, albeit with more rigorous rules. Coming off of news from the ACW, Saturday the 26th was another day of Azeroth Championship Wrestling vending at the Kingdom Market. That weekend was a scorcher in Westfall. The first half of the night was showcasing Bull Power Leon White's dreaded Sugar Hold Challenge. Surviving the hold for 3 minutes earned folks one free bit of merch from the booth. Seems the heat had already beaten the combatants, however, as no one dared challenge Leon's might. Thankfully, the night was saved with an awesome match of Goman, the Jadine Wrestling Machine, versus the Wolverclaw. With the Wolverclaw's explosive entrance, the match went underway. These two, once sparring partners, now hated rivals, made the mat their battleground with a brutal match. Highlights range from Wolverclaw drawing blood with his smackdowns and claws to Goman tossing Wolverclaw up and down the mat like a rag doll. The match ended with a double count-out disqualification. As the Wolverclaw fell off the mat, he dragged Goman out with him where the two kept fighting. Has this match sated the hatred between these two, or is this grudge only grown? Stay tuned for future ACW coverage or see them for yourselves at the Kingdom Market.
Last but not least, it's the Month's End Brawl.
The Month's End Brawl rounded up 55 fighters in June as they gathered on the 25th at the beautiful Temple of the Jade Serpent. In the first round, our correspondent took the time to watch Elithias Everbloom, a Thalassian war dancer, versus Blackbox, a goblin technomancer. Blackbox fought with technology, as one can expect, summoning what he called holographic soul simulacrums in the shapes of imps. Elithias came out victorious, moving on into the second round, but it was there that he met his loss against the Worgen privateer Yanson. One of the best matches that evening came along in the semifinals, featuring Raghuk Stormhoof, High Mountain Shaman, versus the Maghar warrior Argroka Wormscream. The elements were flying, but despite being nearly crippled by the frost magics of her opponent, Argroka came out on top. In fact, she took the gold prize in first place, with Mira coming in second and Dranak in third. However, with 55 fighters, you know there was more than we could cover in one sitting. Check it out yourselves on the last Friday of every month.
Thanks for listening, everyone. See you next time. Fenacon out.
This has been Azeroth Entertainment and Sports Network. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.